Well. Saturday, November 22nd. It's noon Eastern Time. I'm Bob Harris. It's time for the weekly Ask Me Anything live stream, week 12. Before we get to the questions, footballguys.com. That's your website. It's fantastic. All kinds of great stuff there. Appreciate you joining me here every Saturday at this time on the Football Guys Live YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you are told in advance when these things will be happening. And you can come join me here every Saturday for this and other great shows, including our pregame show with Joey and Colston and Adam Hutchison and other shows, the trivia show, new Football Guys Home League show, all the great Football Guys channel, the Audible channel, the Fantasy Football channel with Dave and Alfredo, the Dynasty channel, Jeff Bell, Dave, see Waldman on all these channels as well. So good to see everybody here. Monday through Friday, you'll hear me on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, the Football Diehards program with Mike Dempsey, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a fantastic time. Tonight, Saturday night, we're on NFL Radio and the Fantasy Channel, 3 hours, 8 to 11. Is that it? Yes. And the pregame show on every Sunday with Jeff Mans. So be sure to dial that up if you so desire. Great to see everyone in the chat. Appreciate you all coming. Oh, some questions already. We'll get to those. I'm going to run through the injuries first. Say good mornings. Happy to see everyone here. Beautiful. Good. They were usual assortment of characters. We've got Scampers here to break the news. We've got everyone here to keep us in line. This is always a joyous occasion for me. Kind of helps me sort things out. We'll go through the injury list. I'll remind you again what everyone already knows. If you're asking questions, try to give me the first initial and the last name, the team of they're playing. I probably know all these things, but just to help process a little bit faster is always fantastic. And also, I'm going to defer to you. Like, this is not me telling you what to do. This is me telling you what I do and what helping inform what you do. This is not a you must list. You must obey. I've long gotten past that. Like, fantasy football should be fun. If you ask me something's crazy and it's crazy, I'll tell you it's crazy, but also we'll try to talk it out and see how everything works. Again, appreciate everyone coming. Let's run through the injuries real quick and make sure we're all up to speed on what's going on. And if something happens in the interim, watch for Mr. Scampers. He will post about it. I'll catch it on my notifications, but maybe not as fast as Scampers. Scampers fast. By the way, if you'd like to read the stuff at Football Guys, my in and out column is up right now. That's up every Saturday. My Fantasy Face-Off, Gary Davenport and I do a collaboration that's up every Friday. My Fantasy Notebook's up every Thursday, so I hope you read all those things. We've got a news feed there every day that's great stuff. Also get the Daily Update podcast. It's available every weekday early in the morning, 10 minutes of just the fantasy-specific news and notes and analysis you're looking for. So check that out. And tons of other good stuff. Also, rankings, my rankings, projections, everything you need, tools, tons of articles, so much content. So great staff there. Footballguys.com. Make it one stop. Denver, Miami, Los Angeles, the Chargers are on bye along with Washington, the Commanders. So get those players out of your lineups. They're not necessary. They will not help you this week. Some weeks they won't help you either way. I did see that. That's interesting. There's it's been slow. Like we'll say right at the top, Joe Burrow's probably not going to play. I'll go through everything, but just so everyone is up to speed on that. If you're sitting here waiting with bated breath for that breaking news, broke a couple hours ago, so it's not really breaking. So let me go through the whole injury list. Let's get it done. Pittsburgh Steelers at Chicago. Aaron Rodgers, left wrist, questionable. Watched a lot of the practice footage. We'll listen to him talk a lot. He'd obviously like to play. It's his left wrist, so he can throw the football. Can take shotgun snaps without problem. Maybe seems like he can take direct snaps from center as well. The concern is if he falls and he has to brace himself with that wrist, that left wrist. He's wearing a big brace on it, so not a cumbersome one, though. It's pretty streamlined, I should say. So I think that's a concern. Mason Rudolph will start if he doesn't. I'm guessing Rodgers is pushing to play because he was pushing to get on the field last week. He'd like to think he's the owner of the Chicago Bears. I'm sure he'd like to continue that. So we'll see. Could you play him? Could I play him? I don't know that I want to play a guy who, like, as I said, if he goes down or something, I'd be looking for other options. I'm playing Tyler Shuck ahead of him. And I will, even if Rodgers is active. That's kind of the level I'm at. In a super flex, that's my second quarterback, people. Chicago Bears, Travis Homer out, Roschon Johnson out. Nothing major there. New England at Cincinnati. The Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson's questionable. Mike Vrabel basically said that he would play this weekend. Kayshon Boutte's off the injury report as well. Joe Burrow, as I mentioned, practiced fully a couple days this week, then limited yesterday. They have a short turnaround to the Thursday game. I think that's a big factor here. He is not expected to be activated. We'll know for sure at 4 p.m. Eastern time today, but don't expect that. Joe Flacco will start. Samaje Perine's doubtful in this one, and we'll see what happens going forward. It could get interesting here as soon as Thanksgiving Day. And wouldn't that be great? Let's see. The New York Giants are at Detroit. No Jackson Dart. Did not clear the concussion protocol. Jameis Winston will make another start. Don't love the matchup for them. Thomas Fidone, tight end, is out. Eric Gray, running back, questionable. Should play, practice fully. Detroit Lions, Isaac Teslaw, questionable. Seems likely he'll go. He worked on a limited basis all week. Sam Laporta was placed on IR this week following back surgery. Dan Campbell said he's not likely to be out, so be careful there. Sione Vacai seems like he's terminally questionable here. I don't know if he'll play or not. I don't think we care. Minnesota, Green Bay. The Vikings are all in the clear. Green Bay Packers, Matthew Golden, shoulder questionable. Josh Jacobs, knee questionable. Dontavian Wicks, calf questionable. Savion Williams, questionable. I think Savion Williams we'll start with Josh Jacobs. I think he has a chance to play. Would I like to play him? It's a tough matchup. Minnesota hasn't given up more than 12 fantasy points to running back in the last 3 weeks. So that's a little worrisome to me, but it's not a sprain. It was a contusion. So it's mostly swelling. If the swelling's gone down enough so that he has full range of motion to play, Emmanuel Wilson standing by, if not. So that's, I'm sure we'll get questions, and that's a tough call. It's going to depend on your options. I think Golden and Dontavian Wicks will play. Jaden Reed ruled out, but his practice window was opened on Friday. So he's heading back. Seattle at Tennessee. Torrey Horton out with the shin injury. Kenneth Walker III added to the injury report Friday with a glute injury. I think I saw a question already in the chat. Mike McDonald downplayed it completely, said he would be fine. This is often a Seahawks way. They'll limit somebody Friday, slap a questionable designation on them, even though they're not necessarily questionable. But it's one you'll have to watch there. It's a great matchup against the Tennessee Titans. He's my in on my running back in this week in the in and out. It's a super good matchup. He's coming off a more dominant workload last week, but one that's also been rising in recent weeks. So I'm interested there. Tennessee, no Alec Ayamanor, out with a hamstring injury. That's maybe Chimere DK time. I don't know. Khalil Mullings, the running back, has ankle injury. He remains questionable this week. Indianapolis at Kansas City. Daniel Jones is in the clear. He had a little bit of a fibula. They called it calf at first, then maybe a bone bruise, something. But he's off the injury report for the Chiefs in Kansas City. Isaiah Pacheco has been ruled out, not quite ready. Xavier Worthy is questionable, worked fully on Friday. I guess he'll be ready to go. The New York Jets at Baltimore. Jets, Kenny Nwangwu, questionable. Kick returner. I don't know if he gets enough offense to make him playable even in return yardage leagues. Baltimore, Rashad Bateman is out with an ankle injury. So Lamar Jackson missed a day of practice, but he's fine off the injury report. Expect him to start missing practices on the regular. For the Cleveland Browns, no Dylan Gabriel. I guess we'll all miss him greatly. Shedeur Sanders gets to start. Jamari Thrash, the wide receivers, out as well. Las Vegas, everyone's good to go. They're as good as they get in Las Vegas. Wasn't very good Monday night. Jacksonville at Arizona for the Jaguars. Hunter Long, the tight ends, out with hip and knee issues. Bretton Strange, though, could return. He's worked on a limited basis all week. He did work some last week, too, returning from IR. I think this is the week he'll be back, but you'll have to watch. No Brian Thomas Jr. in this game, out again with the ankle injury. For the Cardinals, Trey Benson, practice window was open, but he will not return this week. Mari DiMercado is also out, so Bam Knight and Michael Carter, the two backs, primary backs. Marvin Harrison Jr. will miss another game. So Michael Wilson, green light, go. The wide receiver 1 overall last week. Wouldn't expect that every week. Not expecting Jacoby Brissett to complete 47 passes every week. But I think this is a pretty good matchup. Jacoby Brissett is my quarterback I'm in on in the in and out this week. He's been a quarterback 1 every game he started. His lowest finish has been quarterback 11. It's been good, people. Philadelphia, Dallas, everyone's in the clear. No injuries there. We'll maybe discuss that. I'm sure there will be questions. Atlanta and New Orleans, Drake London out. Michael Penix Jr. out. London has a PCL injury. Sounds like this week, maybe more, but not necessarily more. Michael Penix, done for the year, had ACL surgery. They say it was partially torn. We'll see about that. For the Saints, Brandon Cooks, they said he was, there was reports that he was released. Well, they were trying to release him. There's been some technical issues. He will not be released yet, but he will not play. He's been ruled out. Alvin Kamara, questionable, but he worked on a limited basis all week. I expect him to play. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Chris Godwin has a chance to play. Todd Bowles says he's trending towards. So maybe he's back this week. That one we didn't see coming. We all thought Bucky Irving was coming back. There have been some issues for Bucky. He struggled apparently with, being away from the team, had some issues going on in his personal life as well with family issues. And so like people have been talking about it for about a week or so. And now it's kind of finally come out in the open that some of this is a little bit of him just needing some time. But Todd Bowles says he's training towards next week. So get one more week of Sean Tucker, Rashad White. On the Rams, Xavier Smith, the wide receiver, has a concussion. He is questionable. I don't know that he'll be cleared or not. Monday Night Football, Carolina at San Francisco. I don't foresee any major injury issues. Bryce Young and Terrell McMillan a little nicked up, but they seem to be okay. Hello. And so there we have it. So we'll get to some questions here. Hey, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you. There you are. Who else we got? Is Wendy Early here? Look at there. Wendy Early in the house. Lester in the house. Appreciate everyone coming. It's always a good time. Enjoying the party every week. Again, we're having discussions here. We're not telling anybody what to do. Well, I am. I'm going to tell you what to do, and you can do it or not. It's your team. You're going to be punishing yourself on Monday if you play my hunch instead of your hunch, or you don't play your hunch because I said your hunch was not a great hunch. All of those things, and it might not be a great hunch, right? That's the thing about like last week. Michael Wilson was my out on my in and out, or my outlier of the week on my in and out column. I thought he was in a good spot, right? Did I expect him to be wide receiver one? No. Did I expect Bryce Young to throw for a team record 448 yards coming off a game and he threw 124 yards in against the Saints? No, none of those things are true. So we're trying to put all these pieces of information, this moving, this timeline of information, of data, and we're trying to put it all together in a way that makes sense so we can make the best decisions. And so here's the thing. Just your weekly reminder now. It's going to be your weekly reminder. Every player is a range of outcomes. Think of it like that, from 0 to all of them. Right? So, and what we're trying to do is we can't predict with any granularity or reliability what end of the range is going to happen, right? So what we're doing is we're playing the probabilities of a range, and those are based on a myriad of factors of matchups, roles, anticipated volume, possible game script, all those things. So when we sit here and punish ourselves after a game for, that guy didn't do good. Well, it's not that guy, that guy might have been great, but the things around him or circumstances might have conspired against him. It's the thing we have to live with as fantasy investors. It's a horrible world. It's a horrible world we've let ourselves into, but we love it so much for that reason, right? It's the best thing. What's my go-to at Hibachi Grill? It's been so long since I've been anywhere. When was the last time? I don't know if it was Hibachi. I went out a little while ago with Scott Barrett from Fantasy Points, and we went to a place where you cook your own little things on a little screen. There's a little fire. It was delicious. I don't know if is that the Hibachi Grill? I don't know if that's what that is. It was fantastic though. Scott Barrett's fantastic as well. Let's see. I'm supposed someone would let me know if the sound was not good. I'm assuming it's okay. There are guys here, but they're nowhere near the house. So I don't know. I heard them here close by earlier. They do the whole street. Korean barbecue, probably. Maybe that's what it was. It was fantastic. Okay. Wendy Early knows. It was delightful. My update on Alvin Kamara is I think he's going to play. That's my update. It's not unusual for Alvin Kamara to be questionable. Works on a limited basis all week. I think they defer to his veteran, give him a little veteran deference there. But I think he'll play, and I think he's in a good spot, right? Like, I don't know about y'all, but and I want to say, I don't know that I'm not going to say. I was texting with who was Mike Clay this morning from ESPN. We're trying to work out a trade, and Tyler Shuck is the quarterback I'm playing as my second quarterback in the league we're in together, and I said, I'm not thinking week 10 is definitive, but it was certainly gave me some encouragement. Like the progression for Tyler Shough came in for Spencer Rattler and looked completely lost in relief. Played the next week and looked semi-competent, right? Semi-competent, or at least like he knew what he was doing. Then the next week, week 10, he looked like he knew exactly what he was doing. Sigmund Bloom and I talked about it on the couch. It was pretty impressive. I think it helps Alvin Kamara. It's a narrow funnel there. If you're playing Saints receivers, it's a 2-man funnel, essentially. I mean, we can all hope for Devon Vele, but I think the notion that Chris Olave, who we saw dominate in that game, and Juwan Johnson aren't going to be fantastic plays down the stretch it's more hopeful there for sure. There's Yard, guys. Right on cue. I asked for them. I got them. So I think Kamara and Bloom is kind of in on Kamara a little bit more, maybe more so than I am. I have him as a solid running back too. All right, back to the top of the list. I know everyone came early and left questions. I don't want to miss you, but I do like to have some conversation. It makes me fun. And Coastal Elite apologized for being in early, but he can't watch till tonight, so I want to facilitate that. Who do I start as my wide receiver 3? Pearsall on Monday Night Football, Addison at Green Bay, or Booty at Cincinnati? I'm a Booty guy, right? So I have them all ranked right about in the same range. The concerns for Addison are obvious. The quarterback is an issue. Sometimes he shows up for brief spells. Can throw a touchdown at any time. I don't know that I want to count on that. Pearsall had a slow initial outing on his first game back from a lengthy absence. I don't know that that's a permanent condition, but I'm probably trying to get everybody I can in an offense. I wrote about it in this week's Fantasy Face-Off, by the way. Booty's numbers had been pretty solid up until the point he got hurt. It's a great matchup, so I might give him a shot. But I think these are all very, very level players. I do think Pearsall is going to be better this week than he was last week. Would you start Wilson even if Jacobs plays? I probably would not. I'd probably try to avoid the situation if I could, especially if Jacobs is active. I mean, again, it's a tough matchup. It's been a tough run against the Vikings in recent weeks. I probably would play Jacobs if he played. I'd be looking at other options with Wilson, honestly, but if you don't have them, sure, he's fine. I think Ken Walker is going to be fine. I think this is kind of a hockey thing. It's funny how some of these teams, their institutional habits stay through regimes, like the Falcons. No matter who the coaching staff has been or the GM even, they've all, for many years, they've just had a way that they, players will be limited early in the week and practice fully Friday, come off the injury report, not be questionable or anything. They're really predictable about that. The Seahawks are really predictable in that they will limit guys on Friday, list them as questionable, and then they'll play as usual. We'll see if that's what happens here. I'm hopeful for that. Again, I'm in on Walker. I think it's a great play. But I'll just say what Mike McDonald's words were. Yes, he'll be fine. It was basically Michael Sean Duggar reported that basically he'll be good to go. So there we have it. My take on Tootin at the Cards or Charbonnet at Titans, standard scoring. I think that's part of it, right? They're both early. Well, the Tennessee kickoff's early. So if there's something with Kenneth Walker, you can pull him out. If there's no Kenneth Walker, all in on Charbonnet, right? I think Tootin's role last week seemed to be a solid role, he was a little ahead of 50-50 when he went out. And I think he could have come back last week if they weren't dominating. So I like Tootin a little bit. I might like Tootin a little better than Charbonnet, all things being equal. Let's say there were no ancillary issues, right? There was no Kenneth Walker problems. I think Kenneth Walker, and it's not just the game last week because it was not a spectacular game. It was just a solid game. He got a touchdown, but it was double-digit fantasy points, and that was fantastic. It was, I think, his best game since week 4 for Walker. But I think, and Mike McDonald said on Monday, they need to get him the ball more. Well, welcome to the club, Mike McDonald. Happy you can join the rest of us out here wanting him to get the ball more. I feel like, Travion Walker investors have nothing on us, or Travion Henderson investors have nothing on us, Kenneth Walker investors. So that's kind of my take on that. I would probably, all things being equal, I'd rather play Tootin. It's a great matchup, though, for Charbonnet. He does get some goal line touches, but the workload has been tipping towards Kenneth Walker. Rabid. PPR need two. Booty, Yoshivas, Otten, Burden. I would probably play Booty and Otten. I know Yoshivas is going to be a popular play with no. I should have mentioned that at the top. There is no, in case anyone's just getting on board this week. Jamar Chase was suspended. He'll not be playing. My bad on that one. I want to make sure we cover all the bases. But yeah, so I think people are hopeful. I think this might be a tough matchup for Cincinnati just in general. So I'm not enthusiastically endorsing him. Could have a good game. It seems like this is just an impression, right? Seems like every time I look up and Joe Flacco's throwing the ball to Yoshivas, it's bouncing off his hands. I don't know that he has a ton of drops. It just seems like every time I look. So maybe I have a bad impression of him. Let me see what the projections are on those fellows. I'm probably ahead of the field on Booty. No, Booty's 35. Addison, Booty 35. Where is Yoshivas? Interesting. The projection team likes Yoshivas better. I like Booty better. They like Yoshivas better. We agree on nothing there. And Matt Waldman would probably be telling us to go Burden, I'm guessing, because Matt loves Burden. Burden's like right outside those. Burden's right there with Booty. So it's a really close knot. If you had a hunch, feel free. I like Booty because I'm a Booty guy. I think he's a legit play. And I think it's a great matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's why I'm leaning that way. If you don't feel the same, all those other guys are fine. Otten is in like maybe one of the more decent spots. He gets good volume, but there's not a lot of upside there. Hello, Corey Stivers, 84-45. Full PPR, Bam Knight versus Jacksonville, Darius Slayton versus Detroit, or Luther Burden versus Pittsburgh. Another league I'm in, AJ Brown versus Dallas, or Rome Odunze versus Pittsburgh. If I'm gonna, AJ Brown is the receiver I'm in on this week, based on nothing more than its time, right? The squeaky wheel gets greased on occasion, but it's a great matchup against Dallas. I think both he and Devontae Smith could have solid games, so I'm expecting him to outperform projections. Rome Odunze has been hit or miss, so I probably would go Brown over Odunze at this point, but it's a great matchup for him as well. Let's see what the projections say on that one as well, because I think that one's probably very close. Yeah, it's AJ Brown 19, Odunze 21. So I mean, they're very close. I'm taking a chance on Brown this week. I think it's a worthwhile chance. I liked his line this week. You know, are you not the same player that you were? Is Saquon Barkley not the same player he was? Fair point. But there's something going on there. I mean, we can all agree on that. Just read the in and out column, which is great and showing accountability of your take on guys. I want to thank you. That's the best part is where I have to tear myself down. Appreciate that. One more flex question. PPR, Charbonnet, Pierce at Chiefs, Burden versus Vikings. Warren is my tight end. I do like Pierce. Pierce has been better than people think. Or, you know, he's flying under the radar. Let's put it that way. I just want to bring something up here real quick because see where it's at. You know, you kind of want to see if your perception is reality. Let's say last since week 7. From week 7 through 10. You'd think I'd be better at working a computer. I do it a lot. Oh, that's the problem. Pierce has been wide receiver 11 or was wide receiver 11 from week 7 to 10. That includes 2 lousy games by Daniel Jones, right? So, and Michael Pittman, by the way, was wide receiver 8. I think this is a tough matchup this week, but I'd be interested in playing Pierce. I think you could play Charbonnet. Burden has, I'll say this, Burden is like a ranked around wide receiver 34, 35 by the projection team. I'll say that he has surpassed Olamide Zaccheaus, at least at this point. So we have that going for us. And I know Matt Waldman, my colleague at Football Guys. You can catch our podcast on Mondays. I can't say the name of it because I can't apologize enough if I do. He's been on Burden all along. He thinks Burden will eventually be the best receiver on that team and that it's just going to be a bit of a burn. So, and it seems like the fuse is finally getting down to the point where we're going to get the explosion. But the playing time is working for Burden. I'd probably go Pierce ahead of him. I don't want to let my Walker wish casting get in the way of Charbonnet. I mean, he's a fine flex level play. I think these guys are slightly above that. Pierce and Burden both. Oh, God. I play the running back, but is Benson back? Benson is not back. Oh, it's Corey's question. Did I miss a question from somebody else? Oh, this one. Oh, I must have missed one. Oh, yeah, I saw that one. All right. And thank you. And please, I encourage everyone in the chat to be answering everyone's questions because I don't always get to all the questions. As much as I'd love to get to all your questions, I can't always get to all of them. Sad. With Dart out, I had Flacco as backup, but dropped for Love because I didn't want to wait on Burrow news. So we've got the Burrow news. I'd probably start Lawrence there. It's Lawrence or Love? I have to look at my own rankings to make sure the bottom quarterbacks are a mess. Lawrence, Love. So the current projections are Flacco 14, Lawrence 16, Love 17, and Winston Shuck 20. I don't know if Winston's in the mix. Shuck right there at 20. So I would. Flacco minus one weapon or Lawrence. I think that's closer for me. It's 14 and 16 in the rankings. I might lean Lawrence there. I feel like this game is not going to be a great game for the Cincinnati offense, even if it's a good one for the defense. Might be a big day for Chase Brown running the ball. Hello, Trump Force 8199. Currently have Goddard at tight end. Would you trade Debo for Tyler Warren? I could probably play Goddard. Debo was good last week. He hadn't been good like the 4 weeks before that. We'll see what happens with Jaden Daniels back. I'm guessing. Well, maybe not. Maybe Jaden Daniels is not back. I think Terry McLaurin will be. The guy also has Bowers and needs a wide receiver. My other wide receivers are Nico, Devontae, Olave, and McLaurin. I mean, I don't know that you're ever starting Debo in that group. You would start. So, yeah, I probably would. I would do that. You're never starting Debo. On bye this week. Must win next 2 to make playoff. Drop Vidal and pick up Rodriguez Jr. or keep him hoping Hampton's not back at 13. Brown, Chase, I'm guessing ETN, Tootin, Tracy Jr. I mean, you got guys that'll start. I could do that. I mean, you're not playing Rodriguez this week, but you're not playing Vidal this week either. So, yeah, I'm fine with that. I do think we're going to hear something about Hampton soon. That would be the thing. Landman, not the show that I haven't watched, but the player that's on the Rams. This is correct. Rodgers might need 2 more and 2 and 3 tight end sets with 2 blocking for him. Possible. I mean, is that enough though? I think if, all things being equal, if Rodgers was healthy, I'd be somewhat interested in playing him. I would play him ahead of Shuck, and like the example I used, right? But I don't know that I'd be forcing him into lineups any week. So especially with all his best receivers, the tight ends blocking for him. I don't know if Dart is. So I've been thinking about this. I wrote something about it at one point, but I've talked about it on the Daily Update podcast for sure. Here's what we'll see. I don't think Dart's going to stop darting. I think he's an aggressive player. He's going to put himself on the line to make plays. I don't think they can change that. But what they can do is call fewer designed runs for him. Up until the time he was hurt, he had the most designed runs of any quarterback. It was like 25. And some of that's on Brian Daboll. We've got a new coordinator there. But it was 25 at the time he was hurt. And he didn't start until week 4. He was more than any other quarterback. I think in that game, he had like 5 designed runs. I think we'll see less of that, right? I mean, that makes perfect sense. But I don't think you're going to change. I think I'll paraphrase Emmitt Smith. That leopard ain't going to change his stripes. So that's going to be a problem. I mean, and he's been advised. So Adam Schefter reported on it that people within and with outside the organization have told him, man, we need you to play. So you've got to figure this out. And maybe he will. Other players have. So it's possible. Rest of season, Jayden Reed, Michael, wide receiver 1, Wilson, and Courtland Sutton. Please throw me the ball. Nix, Sutton. I got it. Is it just me, or is Jayden Reed more something we want to happen than something that's happened? More than a couple plays. I'll say this. I don't know when Marvin Harrison's going to be back. But Michael Wilson's role had already started to grow. That was one of the reasons I was in on last week. He has shown a connection with Jacoby Brissett. I think he's a real thing. I can remember when we were covering the NFL draft on Sirius, the year that he was drafted out of Stanford, and Jeff Mans was super excited and thought he was one of the better receivers in the draft. We're starting to see some of that come to pass. You're right with Courtland Sutton. I mean, like in a vacuum, it's Courtland Sutton to me. Right now, Michael Wilson, given the circumstances and his rise and this change of quarterback, and Jayden Reed. Why not Jayden Reed more? Because it's whack-a-mole. It's like the Green Bay receiving corps is wild. I wrote about it in the In and Out this week. Christian Watson looks fantastic, right? Had a great game. 2 touchdown catches last week. They were amazing catches. He's an amazing player. He hasn't had more than 5 targets in a game this year, in the 4 games since he's come back. He's had 4 in 3 of those games. He had 5 in the other. That's the problem in Green Bay. Seems like Romeo Doubs is the only guy who consistently gets targets. He doesn't consistently catch them, but he consistently gets them. And it's hard to play guys that are like kind of like 1 week they rise up, 1 week they don't. So we'll see about Michael Wilson. I mean, I think the Courtland Sutton workload could regulate at any time. He's at the top of the depth chart. Michael Wilson is right there right now. That only lasts as long as Marvin Harrison's back. But if he continues to put up good numbers when Harrison's back, I'll not be surprised. Trey McBride's always going to be the wide receiver 1 there, though, the tight end. I would start Breece Hall over Rome Odunze. Again, Rome Odunze has the weeks that he's great, and he's not the weeks that he's not. And ask his dad. He would like to have more of the weeks that he is because he thinks it's a workload issue. Maybe it is. Maybe that's a problem similar to Green Bay where he's not getting the consistent weekly targets. Maybe the same problem Courtland Sutton is having right now. Breece Hall's not having that problem. Playing the volume. I wrote about it in the Fantasy Notebook this week. The volume is a primordial sludge from which all fantasy scoring rises. Must have opportunities. Must have opportunities. Yes, it turns out. And that's what we're talking about here with the whole range of outcomes, man. Just remember that. Just think of every player as a range of outcomes and working the probabilities. What do I think is the most likely outcome? What makes the most sense to me? What makes the most sense in general? What's my hunch? All these things should be factors in your decision, but we don't know. We don't know. Funny things happen in football. Crazy. Michael Wilson might be the wide receiver 1. So I've been vacillating on this one. I'm going to go with Hurts right now. Let's make sure I change my rankings to reflect that because I think I did this morning, but I want to make sure now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I have Jalen Hurts number 1. I have Drake May as number 2. There's a range of outcomes for both those guys. They're both good. So I have Hurts 1, 2. If you have a feeling B-growing stuff, 17-27, get on it. But yeah, both great plays. Hate taking Quentin Johnson into the playoffs. The team just happened to drop Keenan Allen and Luther Burden. James Furry is on this. James Furry 72-94. I know him just as James or Jim. A team dropped Keenan Allen and Luther Burden as a free agent. Who do you take in week 15? Well, congratulations on the 9-2. I should be asking you. What's Adam Schefter talking about? Kyle Gordon and Jalen Johnson won't be activated. The Bears matchup just got easier. Did I beat Scampers on this? Scrolling to the bottom, scrolling to the bottom, scrolling to the bottom. Look at Joey Wright in there. That's a very likely outcome. After I hug you. All right. So, yeah, that was so since Scampers did not break the news, I'll re-break it. It's okay, Scampers. It's defensive stuff. Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson, both questionable, won't be activated this week. Also, for the Eagles, Cam Jurgens, the center, has been upgraded, so no status for the game. So, good news there for all involved. Happy days are here again. Well, Lane Johnson, except for Lane Johnson. All right. Oh, my gosh. I'm far behind. I'm a booty guy. Joey Wright's name is dropped next. Trying to find where the hell I was. Good Lord. There's a lot of questions today. It was James Free. Like Keenan Allen feels like the safer play. Quentin Johnston's gotten a good number of targets the last couple games, but he hasn't done anything with them. I don't feel comfortable with him either. Don't know that I feel comfortable with Luther Burden yet, though. So it would be Allen. If I see more Burden, though, this week and next week, then yeah. Montgomery, Sean Tucker, Wandale, half-point PPR. I'm going to go ahead and play Sean Tucker, target of opportunity this week with Bucky out another week. And by the way, I wrote about this as well in the Face-Off article with Gary Davenport. Josh Grizzard basically says, man, Sean Tucker is going to be a thing no matter who else is here or not here. So maybe they're catching on to Tucker. The workload for Tucker also has been increasing incrementally until last week. Great matchup last week. Not as great a matchup this week. I'll play Juwan Johnson over Otten. Hi, Wendy and Lester. I said the same. Hi, Cyberbic. I think I saw you earlier. PPR, Tucker or Tootin? Tucker right now. Just because he's got the clear path. I mean, Rachaad White's still going to play, but it's looks like it's going to be more of a 50-50 in Jacksonville, but it's going to be different than that in Tampa Bay. So that's why, and our projection teams agrees with that. Thanks for coming there, a Rich Child 63. Oh, Rich Hild. Rich Child? What am I doing here? Can't even read. Hey, Bob, without Drake London, do I go Wandale Robinson or Jacoby Myers at Arizona or Jerry Jeudy at Las Vegas? I don't know if I trust anybody in Cleveland this week except Harold Fannin Jr., and I don't feel great about that. And Quinshon Judkins. I play Wandale. I am Mark Strong 3084. I hope you are as well. Do I play Booty Hollins? Hollins Booty. I see Booty and I'm just on it. Booty call. Hollins Booty Washington or Christian Watson. I play Booty. Christian Watson is right there. Washington didn't get the targets last week. Could it be a Jacoby Myers thing? Maybe. But maybe the targets regulate a little bit. But I mean, at best, he's like a wide receiver 3-level play. All these guys are wide receiver 3-level plays to me. So I like them. I'll play the matchup this week. It's not just that I'm a booty guy. It's just that I'm a matchup guy as well. Booty is not a start over Ibuka. I'm a booty guy. I'm not crazy. Stafford or Purdy. This is a tough one. I probably ranked them 6 and 7. Let me go back into my rankings and double check while I'm spouting that nonsense. I have Matthew Stafford quarterback 6. I have Brock Purdy as quarterback 7. Feel free as you see fit. Booty over Hollins. Hollins is a great guy, though. But I don't think he's going to get the level of consistent workload. Royal Slade, you can chime in on this. I'm sure you already have, and I just haven't seen it. Michael Wilson or Judkins. Might play Judkins for the sure volume, but I wouldn't talk yet. Like if this is a flex level play, if you feel good about the rest of your lineup and you want to swing for a little upside, I think probably Michael Wilson has more upside. I think Judkins gives you a solid floor, as any running back does, any feature back over any wide receiver. The way I see it, like I want to play that sure volume. I want to get down in the primordial sludge of scoring, and that's opportunities. I think Judkins will get more of those than Wilson. I think Wilson might do more with his, especially in this matchup. Flex, Romeo Doubs or Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker for me for that same reason. I feel more confident in the workload at the moment, right? Like, and I realize he could share with Rachaad White. It could be a hot hand situation. Look at there. Look at there. I nailed it. Love it when I get the confirmation that I am indeed on track. But Tucker's, maybe you don't feel the same. Maybe you feel like that Sean Tucker's one off. Maybe you think it's last year's week 6 in New Orleans when he was all great and then disappeared. Based on Josh Grizzard's comments, I don't think that's the case. So there. Just kidding, Todd. Good luck with that decision. By the way, if you're just tuning in, I'm Bob Harris. Hi, darn glad you're here. Damn glad to see everybody, even Joey Wright. All my friends here. I love coming here. We could do this every noon every Saturday. You can ask me anything. We'll kind of go through stuff. You kind of see how it's rolling. If you don't know who I am, you can find my work on Football Guys. Every Thursday, the Fantasy Notebook. Every Friday, the Fantasy Face-Off questions with Gary Davenport. Every Saturday, the In and Out column. My Saturday Injury Watch will be up later today. You can catch me on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio every damn day if you're not careful. Sorry, Joe. 8 to 10 on weeknights, 8 to 11 on Saturday nights. That's on NFL Radio and the Fantasy Channel. And Sunday on the pregame show. But I'd much rather you watch Joey Wright on the Football Guys Live channel right here. Get your notifications. Sign up for that. Joey, Adam Hutchinson, Colton Dawson doing a great job, doing yeoman's work every week. I'm watching them while I'm talking on the radio. It's fantastic. They look great. They're very handsome lads, and they pass on a lot of knowledge, answer a lot of questions. So get on that. Get on that. Oh, look at Andrea's in the house. Hello, Andrea. Glad you can make it. Tough week. Tough week, I know. Let's see. Also, you can catch my Football Guys Daily Update podcast every weekday morning, Monday through Friday. Cover 10 minutes. Give you everything you need to kind of set the table for today, set the plate, get filled up with good information to start the day. It's kind of like eating a good breakfast. Do that. Eat a good breakfast and listen to me. I'm Bob Harris. That's who I am. All right. Oh, that was Scott Kobe. I didn't even really see your name, Scott. Yeah, I'm probably going Wandale there, if I didn't make it clear. Didn't see that was you. Like, what's going on here? Am I like blind? All right. I'm catching up. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming. I agree. Best way to start Sunday. Oh, I already did this one earlier. I'm like all over the place. With London out, I'm looking for upside in my flex. Says Superchargers 21-17. I picked up Yoshivas and Myers, Dortch on the waiver wire. I'm torn between these three. I have Algier on my bench as well. The projection team loves Yoshivas. I'm not as keen on the offense this week. I saw the Flacco maybe slowing down a little bit. Also, no Jamar Chase, looking for a big day from T. Higgins, but I don't know if I trust Yoshivas. But the projectors love him, and I don't love the other options. So I'm going to go with that. Not against playing Tyler Algier any week, especially with Drake London out. Like, are they going to lean more heavy on the run? Could we see more two-back sets? I don't know. I think we've seen a fair amount, but you kind of need the touchdown luck with these backup running backs. I agree with this comment. Thanks, Jeff Bull. Appreciate you checking in. Scott against Evil. My bench and I are full. I'm going to have to take a 0 on my active roster. Pick 2 who have the most upside. Tyrod Taylor, Mason Taylor, Yoshivas. All it's Tyrod Taylor because he gets the ball in his hand every time. What do we say about volume? It's a primordial sludge. Bathe in it. It's quarterback. I'm always going to take the quarterback in a flex possibility, right? After that, the rankings probably like Yoshivas. Gainwell's, though, definitely in play. And so is Burden. So is Stevenson probably. That's why I want to see what's going on. Love it. Need to start 3 running backs, says Spaz Rabbit Carlson. King Tut, Tucker, King Henry, Anderson. King Tut. I'm going with King Tut. I'm starting the 3 who I know who they are. Tucker, King Henry, and Henderson. Who is Tut? I don't know. They did, but they're moved on. It seems like they're already done. I would probably start. I like Jennings a little bit in this game. I'd probably start Jennings. Could this be the best best Jameson Williams game of the season against the Giants? It is entirely possible, but it's entirely possible both he and Amon-Ra St. Brown could have great games. That would be my expectation. I'm looking for a rebound game for this offense, and Jameson Williams is going to be a part of it, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, though, will lead the receiving corps. I mean, I'm pregame Mac Hollins. Devontae Smith for me. Tedero McMillan for me. And we'll watch the injury report today, but I'm assuming Bryce Young will be fine. Everyone's good to go. I am fully prepared for 3 points, but also hoping for more. They make it tough on us, Lester. Oh, did I say Matt Waldman next? Damn it. I want to get in on this betting so I can say whose name I'm going to drop, and then I can win all the money. Is that's allowed in baseball, right? It should be allowed here. Not PPR, Devontae Smith, Dallas, Michael Wilson, Jazz. I probably played Devontae Smith there as well. Hate having 2, but I currently have 3 after losing Kraft. So I just picked up a Gadsden, Fannin, Loveland, these rookie tight ends. Hate having 2, but I currently have 3. Do you want to keep some of these? I mean, I'd probably keep Fannin and Gadsden, but I like all 3 of them. Marvin Tucker on waivers, which I which wide receiver? So you have to cut one of those guys. I'd cut Loveland to get Tucker. I think the question was who. It was like a multi-parter, but it was who do I drop to get Tucker or Marvin Harrison? I think it's not going away, but I think it's not enough of it for me to play. I would consider playing Tucker over Zay Flowers I have a Zay Flowers blind spot. Let me just acknowledge right now. I'm not. Steelers are upgrading Cam Hayward and Darius Slay. Both are no longer have designations. Congratulations to them and the Steelers. I feel like I have a blind spot for Zay Flowers. Honestly, it's I always have. I know he comes up with huge games, but I feel like there's times every time I want to lean on him, he comes up with nothing games. Let's see what's going on here. Let's figure this out. Let's get to the bottom of this. Zay Flowers is what I thought. He's wide receiver 23 on the season. So, I realize there are spike weeks in there that are great. Same with the Dunze, by the way, right? Or where's the Dunze? He's wide receiver 19 on the season. There are going to be great games, but there's going to be somewhere I don't know where the heck he goes. So I'd probably rather play a running back than that most weeks. A running back that I think is going to get the bulk of the work, even in a fairly tough matchup. Fair. Yeah, again, it'd probably be Loveland for me, even though I like him, but I like those other players better. They're usual. And I keep those other 2 tight ends. You can maybe make an argument for Loveland over Fannin just because the general offensive malaise and the quarterback situation in Cleveland. But Fannin seems to be the only piece working there. I skipped you. I thought I said I'd play probably Mooney in this case. I'm not skipping anybody. I might have missed it. Didn't skip it. Might have missed it. I want to see what the projectors think of Mooney, if they think of him. He's just not. He's 30, wide receiver 32. So the projection calls for Pierce Hall to have a wide receiver 30, and Mooney would be wide receiver 32. Mooney's gotten some tremendous target shares the last couple of weeks, and he's done nothing with it. Not a damn thing. I needed to pick up for this week Darnold, Brissett for me. Also start Tyler Warren or Bowers. I mean, you need to have a depth chart for that. Like, who do you start every week? I'd probably start Bowers every week. But you need to either move like that previous question was, somebody moving Ty Warren because they also have Bowers. You can't play both of them. Like, unless you can play both of them, and then I would in the flex. Then I need to flex too. Henderson, Tet, or the tight end not starting. I might do that along with Henderson. Or like I'm probably doing Henderson, Tetro, McMillan. Fighting solves everything. You need to fight to trade one of those tight ends. You should put both on the block and see what the best offer you can get. Or go out and find a position you're lacking and target somebody. All right, Easy Money Sniper BD. Deciding on a wide receiver and flex from this group. Parker Washington, Luther Burden, Tyler Algier, Michael Carter. I'm sorry for this. Probably Burden for me. Along with maybe Algier. That would probably be it. Not out on Washington, but I would like to see another week if I have other options. Like to see it that even out. Remember, Washington's workload had been really good for a couple games. It was not good last game. Part of this is I think Bretton Strange is coming back. I should have mentioned that. I did at the top of the show, but I think Bretton Strange is coming back, and I think he was leading the team in receptions when he got hurt, right? Like, I think if you're never probably yes. I'm concerned about Herbert's well-being over the course of the rest of the season. They can't block for him, but his production has been good except for one game. It's been horrible. But overall, I mean, the 3 games prior to that last game against Jacksonville where he could not do anything. And Jacksonville's not the strongest pass rush, Andrea. That's a little bit concerning. But I would probably play him. I think most weeks you're playing him over Mayfield. I think Stafford you might be able to play every week. So probably yes. I think Herbert is an upgrade, although Baker's getting some pieces back. But he's not been as high end as he has past seasons. I'm with you. I'm a booty guy, not a Mooney guy. I don't know if I beat you or not. All right, I think we've been through that. I gave you my answer there. So PPR, Rashard White or Ken Walker. I'm playing Ken Walker. Ooh, interesting. I get it. I don't know if I wouldn't do it the same, but I get it for sure. I have a few starters on bye this week. Full PPR, pick 1 wide receiver, 2 flex spots, and 1 drop. This is the Stephen Grice or Grice. So many names swimming in front of me here. I'm playing Pierce. I'm playing Tucker, and I'm playing Walker. I'm dropping. I don't know if I'm not playing Emmanuel Wilson today. I'm probably never playing him. Or this week. I need 2, Javonte Williams, Hall, or Judkins. See how Javonte Williams does with Jalen Carter and board. Hall for sure. I'm probably playing Williams over Judkins, though. I am. And the projection team agrees with me. If you're wondering why I sometimes stop and look at something like that, it's what I'm doing. I'm like comparing what my ranking is. Like, so in case you're just new to this whole thing, like we have a projections team at Football Guys. Our rankings are based on that, but we adjust all our rankings to meet what we think. And so I sometimes like to compare my rankings to what the projections say for a sanity check. Judkins is odd man out. Okay, Bruce Jacobs was 72-43 for the stretch. Which wide receiver was what I lean on as the starters? Probably McConkey. We'll see what Pierce does this week. Pierce I'll do this week. It would probably be one of them, and probably Shakir is the right answer. I don't want to be, Dalton Kincaid's coming back at some point, and I think he'll take the leading role, but Shakir is going to have a role. I'd like to see if Pearsall show signs this week of getting back to the guy he was before he was hurt. If we start seeing that kind of volume with Purdy, I think he might be it. But also it might be Pierce. I played Tyrone Tracy over Pierce. A properly seared scallop versus a poorly seared steak. That's the only way the scallop wins. Hi, Warrior Loft. It's an obvious answer. Thanks, Royal Slade. I've got a couple more minutes here. I'll try to squeeze in what I can squeeze in before I have to call it a day and get on with the work of the afternoon. Who's more valuable rest of the season, Burdens or Quentin Johnston? Might be Burden. Juwan Johnson for me this week. Appreciation. Would I trade Nico or BTJ and a first to upgrade to Rice in Dynasty? Maybe BTJ. That's a horrible decision to have to make. It'd probably be Pollard, and I wouldn't be happy about it. I think Tucker's going to play the lead role. I don't think this is a great matchup for the two-back setup, Courtney. So that's probably where I'm at. Probably Andrews over Cotton, knowing I need that touchdown. Yeah. That is true. What? Who's got a tiny dog? Godwin will not be a good thing for Otten. Like when the pieces come back, Otten is not good. But I don't know how back Otten is. That's a question. Christian Watson or Godwin this week? Christian Watson this week for this same reason. I don't know how back Godwin is. He's been limited all week. He had one full practice this week. Oh, how's the cat? Mrs. got a tiny dog. Cat's not. The Mrs. got a tiny dog. That's horrible. For roster depth, Otten or Ferguson? Otten. I've got it now. My cats were not pleased when there was a dog in my house either. Okay, we're answering questions. I need two full PPR this week. Javonte Williams I'm playing Javonte Williams. Tootin. Okay. I'd liked all those other guys over Tootin. Me too. No lies detected. Let's hope not. No. Even in a tough matchup. Not ready to go there, James. If you did, though, I wouldn't blame you. It's a daunting matchup for a Dak Prescott, but I'd be hard-pressed to sit CeeDee Lamb in the face of a tough lap. He's just not that guy. If Jacobs doesn't play, should I start Wilson or Bam Knight? I would start Wilson if he does not play. If Jacobs does not play. So on drop road next, I have Dartmouth dropped my second defense for him. Nix has a matchup with the Commanders next week. Someone drop Bo Nix. I have Dartmouth drop my second defense for him. You don't have anything else you can drop? You'd have to drop Dart. I really would rather not do that. Drop somebody else. Drop your second kicker. Do you only have one? I don't know that so do you not believe Dart is going to be the same guy that he was before he was hurt or with the change of coaches? Like, if that's the case, then yes, drop him. But I don't know that that's the case for me. He was quarterback too from the time he started until the time he got hurt. Nix is good, but he's not been that. Yes. depending on what moves you have to make. Correct answer. Debating on this for a couple of days. Wide receivers: Nico, Rice, Igbuka, Pierce, Myers. Worth dropping Myers for Tootin? Sure. Yep, absolutely. With the players you have. Bijan. Oh, this is more of that. Yeah, absolutely worth it. No, to the second part of your question. I would consider it. I mean, I like Booty, but if I thought Pearsall was going to show signs of returning to his early season value, yes. Nothing that I'm aware of. I haven't seen the tweet yet, so I don't. First, I've heard of this. Let me see if there's any additional context here. He has no game status, so I'm guessing it's going to be fine. But definitely something we need to watch. All right. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Scott Kobe. All right. All right, that's it. No more questions. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you for coming. Oh, yeah, that's a good move. Yes, that is a good move. That's perfectly fine. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. I appreciate your time and your attention and the conversation and the questions and all those things. It's always great spending a little time with you. Appreciate you all showing up and helping each other out when I can't get to all your questions. Appreciate the chat jumping in and taking care of business. We will maybe so. It's always the problem, right? All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week. I'm Bob Harris. Over and out.